Yes, sir. Geeks all over the globe, God. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode. Because we geeked. We encourage you to stay geek, man. It's not a bird, definitely not a plane, but it's your boys, Real Cuz, Big J, and BA back again with another episode. If you guys are into geek culture involving movies and television, we talk about all that here every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning, y'all. Simply hit that subscribe button. Join us here for these conversations, man. If you're over on Twitter, man, follow us over here. Also, hit that subscribe button. And also, too, if everybody could do us a favor, hit them likes for us today, man. That'd be much appreciated as well. We're about to have a good one today. So go ahead and if you got any comments or questions or anything like that, addressing any of the topics that we bring up, y'all been doing pretty well on that. Join us for these conversations. Hit the comment section. We're going to be talking about a discussion of SuperGirl today and some other stuff, too, man. So y'all join us for these conversations, y'all. But we'll get to those comments and stuff that you guys add to the comment section toward the end of the show. All right, fellas, let's go ahead and get to it, man, because I know we got a long show today. SuperGirl came out, so Cuz seen it 2 years ago. So we're gonna go ahead. He's been waiting on this, so we're gonna talk about it, man. So let's go ahead and get to the main topic of the show, which is gonna be. Well, she had no theme music, did she?
He had hints of the John Williams, but Blondie, I guess, called me, but that's what they use for the trailers. But you know,
I guess, man. Yeah. Main topic. Well, we got SuperGirl in the building, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to this here. Let's see what we got here, y'all. So Warner Brothers is considering any amount of above 300 million a quote unquote victory for the studio. So let me see if this is another one down here. Yeah, Warner Brothers reportedly consider any box office total above 300 million worldwide victory. Okay, pretty much the same thing. Let me see something real quick. I don't know why I wasn't prepared for this. Let's see what I had a Rotten Tomato score, but we won't get the update. Okay, you just told me it's updated. Okay, so now the updated Rotten Tomato score, critics rating is a 57, audience is a 76. So, Big J, what you think, man? What's your thoughts on this? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Pause real quick, y'all. So listen, we normally give our thoughts on the movie. All right, and then we kind of have we always have our general discussion about the movie and all that stuff, our takeaways and all that stuff. And then we also give our Kaioken rating at the end of the discussion, y'all. So if you have not seen SuperGirl movie, go ahead and watch that movie. Or if you have seen it, go ahead and let us know what y'all think. Or come back, y'all let us know what y'all think later on if you haven't seen it yet. But until then. Spoilers. Uh-oh, Cuz on mute, but it's okay. Listen, if you guys have not seen it.
Technology. Do it again, he said. Do it again. He wanted to.
All right, here we go. Spoilers. Oh, still muted. Take your audio, Cuz. Take your audio.
It's not the right time. I'm sorry. it's over. Hey. All
right, well, I could doing that, man. We will get to it, man. Big J, what's your takeaways from this movie, man? What's your thoughts on this movie?
So I had a lot of thoughts on the movie.
Uh-oh, here we go, y'all.
No, so here's the thing. I think so. I think it was better than The Mandalorian and Grogu when it comes to just pure movie experience. I thought.
Okay.
Huh? Is he back?
No. Oh, no, I was gonna say when you said Mandalorian Grogu, Mandalorian Grogu wasn't bad. I liked it, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. The only thing is, I did some stuff. I was listening to the director. He did some interviews, and I was kind of disappointed because, like, there was a lot of complaints about the visuals of the movie. And you know, James Gunn, like we talked, James Gunn, even Superman was a beautiful movie. It was gorgeously shot, real bright colors, vibrant. The source material, bright pastels, all that stuff was, and then when he did an interview, and he said that. They asked him about it, like, well, compared to, he's like, I never read the source material until after we shot the movie.
I was gonna get on all that, BJ, but go ahead. I'm glad you're saying something. Go ahead.
Okay, because I'm like, how do you, as a director, he said he only read the script. I'm like, how do you not go back and reference the source material that the script is based on to get the visual cues, even though they use some of the visual cues because apparently it's written into the script. Still like her blowing out the flame and drink and all that stuff. And
So
even go ahead.
Even the writer, BJ,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but even the writer, she did not really sit and read the comic.
Yeah.
She took bits and pieces out of it and made a story of her own, which is why this movie kind of. But go ahead. I'm sorry. So it's not only the director, but the writer too.
And the stuff with Krim, like Krim was totally different in the story. He was a different character. He, even Ruthie's family story was different. Like, it was supposed to be just her father was killed and the whole family got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, even if the way that they made Krim a human trafficker versus, just a mass murderer like he was in the comic. They was going around murdering people. And the brigands was different, like I said, because he wasn't even a biological brigands. Yeah, they made it like a race of people versus they were kind of like the Ravengers, just a group of folks who would go around. And they made so many changes. Like I said, it's like they wanted. That's probably why they told them don't even call it Woman of Tomorrow because it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same story. You took the outline and made your own movie. Yeah, it was like the essence of Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, your dog got shot. You went on an adventure with another little girl. And they said the original writer wanted to throw Lobo in, and so they went ahead and threw Lobo in because they promised it. But other than that, like I said, and some of the stuff was like, some of the stuff kind of fell flat. I did like the action stuff that she did, like her the fight on the bus. I thought was real cool. And the bar fights were okay, but like I noticed even when they did the bar fight, the big bar fight where they show her with the laser round, like it was kind of happening in the background. And they would focus kind of on Ruthie, and you would see people flying.
It's from her perspective. From her perspective, what's going on? Yeah,
but you didn't get to see like the action. I'm like, why go nerf the action when you just gave us when they were on the boat thing? The bus. That was a cool fight, and then her blowing up their ship and all that. But then you switched, and it was almost like having a moon night, flashback where we about to start this fight. All right, look over here. All right, now the fight over it, and we come back, and I'm like, and people just flying everywhere, and I'm like, So I'm gonna say this, and I honestly think it would have been a better movie if James Gunn directed it, which I know that's going to see. I think he would have done a better job.
Whoa!
I see.
Hold on, y'all. What's today? Didn't write this down, man. We gotta save this. Can you please repeat that again? Because I think BA didn't hear you. What you say? What said that again?
I said I think if James Gunn would have directed the movie, it would have been a better movie, and I think he would have made sure it stayed closer to the original source material. And I think it would have been truer to the actual character too. Even the fact that they changed her age.
I'm gonna say something about that too, Big J, because you touching on some stuff that I was gonna say, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more to it because you said James Gunn's name. I'm gonna get on him here in a little bit, but go ahead.
Even the fact that in most of the stories she's older than Clark because she was born and through time dilation.
Yes,
she's years younger than him, but she's actually about.
Either. I don't know why they changed.
They also changed Clark's age because they said originally in the Superman Clark was supposed to be about 28 years old, but then in this show she was 23 and he's supposed to be 10 years older than her according to that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, once again, from movie to movie, don't do the Marvel Sony thing where you don't know what year it is and how if these movies are supposed to be a week and a half apart basically.
Yeah.
And
didn't it happen? It did happen after. You're right. And also too, remember they had her. She wasn't born yet when Argo.
Correct. She was born 8 years after. 8 years after.
8 years after. I'm like, it's a lot. But yeah, it is what it is. My bad. Go ahead.
So like I said, they base. Huh?
I'm gonna say, Rob, go next because I want to hear your thought process real quick.
Yeah, because like I said, Big J hit on a lot. I was gonna say, bro, because you right. I was hearing the same stuff. Like the director was not only the so to go back on the James Gunn part, bro. I'm starting to kind of. Like so, James Gunn is at this point now. He's gonna have to sit down and take a Kevin Feige role. He did not write this story. He only just read the script and said, "Okay, cool." Right? He didn't write the story. Of course, he did not direct it. And from a lot of stuff I'm hearing that he wasn't too hands-on with this movie. It's kind of like, yeah, y'all guys got it. Go do your own thing. And when you see this movie, like it's good elements of the movie, but you can see what people are complaining about, like with the scripting, the pacing, and all that type of stuff. The way it's put together and all that, right? You could tell, like you just said, Big J, if James Gunn was a little bit more hands-on, this would have flowed a little bit better. It would have made a little bit more sense. It would have stuck more to the original story. Because I'm thinking, like you said, the Krim part, I think we talked about that before the movie came out. The fact that Krim was nothing like the Krim from the comic, and I was like, okay, I don't know about this, but okay, we'll see how it goes. It might be an interesting take on Krim, right? There was no type of depth or anything added to Krim. If you go and read the actual source material of Woman of Tomorrow, there was depth added to Krim. There's a backstory to him and all that stuff, to the reasoning why he was what he was. We didn't get that from this movie. The fact that they tried to make this look like a Mad Max ripoff in a superhero world, where they have the brides and everything, you know what I'm saying? They look just like the brides in the Mad Max Fury Road movie and stuff, right? And it was just like, bro, like, who signed off on this? And for James Gunn to be as entrenched in the comics as he is, I'm surprised he didn't like kind of step in and like, you listen. If you please go read Woman of Tomorrow, please go read Woman of Tomorrow. Like BJ said, the vibrant colors and everything of that story. I think the audience would have ate that up, man. Mm-hmm. The audience would have ate that up. That if I don't know why they didn't just not exactly. You could change some things up. Like if you want to change up Ruthie's parents being, weapon creators or whatever the case is, that's fine. That's little bitty minor things. But the heart and the essence of the story, bro, y'all should have kept it to that. That would have been a better storytelling. That would have fit more in what you're trying to do with this universe going forward. Make it more colorful. It's all kind of grungy and dark and dirty and all that. You made the whole entire universe seem like that. That's not what you try to envision the universe to look like. Like, this is what we get here. When they go out there, I want to see like this kind of stuff I've never seen before. It's vibrant, it's bright, the technology is off the chain, or whatever the case is, right? We didn't get that from this movie. And the fact that when you see the actual comic, read the actual comic, it's completely different. And I just don't understand. I know we always sit here and say, like, man, just do exactly what the comic does. This is one of those cases where, like, you probably should have did exactly what the comic did. You still could have had a different character from Superman with Supergirl, like it is in that comic story. She is a different character from Superman. And also, too, BJ, I don't know if you didn't mention this, they changed the ending up in this movie from the comic. People are mad about that. So it's like, bro, I don't know why. Like James Gunn, like you said, two things, BJ. James Gunn's gonna either have to, if you're gonna be a director, then you need to be a director. If you're gonna be a studio head, be a studio head. This right here is where you should have stepped in and overlooked everything. I feel like he didn't do that, because a lot like Lepsy is a great director. It felt like he was trying to be a copycat of James Gunn on a lot of senses of this movie. It's like, bro, why didn't I don't get it, man. But
all right, so one thing when it came to with James Gunn, one of the things we learned over the years is James Gunn is great with the music and putting the music and making it match the scenes and all that.
Scenes and all that, yeah.
For his callback songs versus the diegetic stuff where he made, versus the score. But this seemed like a setback, and it seems like they were trying to do and once again, I'm not even against female-led action because I love Alien and all that. So, yeah. But they did the same kind of stuff they did for Captain Marvel. Remember Captain Marvel during the big fight scene they were playing "I'm Just a Girl" by No Doubt that had nothing to do with the song. I mean, what was going on screen. For this one, they picked the song "Jimmy Eats World," the middle for that big fight scene at the end when she was fighting the brigands. And I'm like, and that's everybody been going for. I'm like, yeah, the song didn't fit the action. Once again, it's like you said, he was trying to do a James Gunnish type thing where let me get a cool song and drop it in here, a girl power song, and instead of just like either using your score, which is what most movies do.
That's what you normally do. Yeah, use the score. Which is why I remember I asked y'all. I said, hold on, was there even did she have her kind of own theme music? I didn't. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't really hear her own thing. Like I know Superman is kind of like a remix of sort to the Christopher Reeve Superman, but still it's his theme music, right? So whenever you see him on the screen, you can hear that little low theme music playing. I didn't hear anything of Supergirl. That's what I was waiting on when the movie came on. Like, we gonna hear some kind of her kind of theme music or whatever, kind of like how you know what I mean. So I don't know, bro.
They played the Superman theme a couple of times during this
when he showed up.
No, even for her. For her.
Okay, yeah.
Like when I think during the fight when she was fighting on the bus, I think they played elements of the Superman theme. And that, like, okay, so going back to the Snyderverse, which everybody, whenever Wonder Woman came out, we knew that when that music started up, oh, that's Wonder Woman. She about to do something crazy. Yeah. So and then they kept that going even with her movie, because even when they did the BVS, we dropped Wonder Woman, and we were like, okay. and then we knew when they kept going. But it's like, yeah, you gotta, I don't know. Like I said, you gotta develop. Like I said, have a theme for your characters. If she's gonna get her own movie, take 5 minutes and write a theme song or something. Don't give me a bunch of needle drops of some songs that y'all think sound cool. And like I said, if you're gonna do that, let James Gunn, the dude that's been doing it for the last 15 years at a high level, let him help pick the songs. Do something, but don't be corny. That's what they were being corny.
There was something else I was gonna say about the whole the James Gunn part, but I'm gonna get everybody else's thoughts. What's your thoughts, BA?
All right, so I agree with a lot of things that you said, both of y'all. And I felt the passion pause from Rel. That's why I wanted Rel to go next. That was a nice segment in there. I guess let's talk about what actually worked. I guess let's say that. When it comes to the anti-color that you guys are bringing up, her story is darker. So I think they tried to dial down that colorful tone, that brightness, because even Superman said in the movie, like the colors, it breeds hope and things like that of that nature. So when you go absent or void of that, it's a dingy look. It's a grainy look. It hopefully, if it's not a hope, then it shows pain. So in a way, I think they was trying to show her pain through her activities throughout the universe. Yes, we know the universe is not like that, but I think that's what it was going with it. Did it land? No, I can see that it didn't land, but I think that's what it was trying to portray. Is just the that in her eyes, in her outlook, the world is not a great place. The universe is not a great place. What she had, and he knows when they showed Krypton, it was bright, it was white, it was all this, you know what I'm saying? So it was anti that. It was the other, it wasn't necessarily colorful, but it was bright. It was in your face in a sense. So they were saying this is what she's used to. So everything else that she sees is with a gray tint, with is in a dull tint in a sense. And I think that's what they was trying to do. Next, I think one, I'm glad he took away the pedo side of Krim. They was about to put that in, and James Gunn said no. So thank God they didn't go that far, because that would have been too much. They tried to show him Krim as a ruthless killer and stuff like that. I ain't like the fact he had to kill black people like that, but you know what I mean, like their little family or whatever. But it was times in which I was looking at him and I was like, I'm feeling like a Mandalorian effect, not necessarily Din Djarin, but I was like, he's fully prepared to fight this Kryptonian, and he didn't budge at all. Like it was no hesitation enough. Like even when she was full powered, I thought that was just an interesting take with that. So I was like, okay, well at least he's prepared to fight. I don't know if he has any more darts of kryptonite, but I don't think they just grow on trees. But he had like 5 of them. That and I guess they did a good job of her fighting battles without being full strength. I don't think we get too much of that a lot of times. So with her, like she has a serious fighting background first and foremost, because she was doing stuff on planets in which she wasn't powered at all until she had to find it, or she got knocked down and tore it, or she had her Princess Leia moment and then she found the sun. Like it was things like that. So I like that. I like the fact that they like she has a skill set first, which is what we talk about Superman. Superman does not have a skill set. He's smarter now, so he can do things and set things up whereas though it's not collateral damage and things of that nature. I'm not saying that he's unintelligent, no, but he just at the end of the day he just punches. That's kind of all he does. She has a skill set, and then she uses her power to enhance that skill set. I appreciated that. I like the little girl. I mean, at one point, I'm like, do y'all realize this little girl was dangling paws from this little rope? Like, no one's gonna. All right, and she stayed there, and I think they kind of forgot about her, and then they went back to her. So that's a direction error in my opinion. But because it's no way you're gonna hold yourself up that long. But she did. and I like her build. I like that character, and I hope they find a way to because she went with her at the end. So I hope they find a way to keep her in the mix some kind of way. I don't need a full fledged movie, and she's like the little sidekick, like Indiana
We need
Jones
a we need
type
a
of.
Ruthie movie, BA. We need a Ruthie movie.
I don't need that, but I don't want to forget her. I don't want to forget her either. So that's that. Um, and yeah, man, my main thing was going into this movie is can they show the pain of her losing everything, and now she's in a new world in a sense, and they tried it even with Clark saying you're gonna love Earth. He kept pushing that you're gonna love this. You're gonna love what you're seeing here. She's not because it's not her home.
Mm.
So she never's going to see it. And now maybe through her growing through her own episode here, that she's like, okay, maybe things are better. I just gotta look for it. So if I see a part two to this, and now it's all colorful, yes, they listen to every other thing that y'all guys are saying, but it's also could be a character maturing that she's starting to see the brighter things in life versus
Right.
having this drunk episodic like just out of it type vibe. And I think that's a way to build on her character. Not the best movie, not the worst. That's funny because I saw the thing that you posted about Slim that said that. Um, it's kind of spot on. Like, would I watch this again? Probably not. Will I say this is one of the worst movies? No, it's cool. It's just
Mhm.
it was a spots where it could have been a lot better. And I think that's what we're missing, and that's what we want as a fandom. It's like, yo, this probably could have been like 5 times as better, but it's not bad. And sometimes you gotta take that. So I think that's where we at with it.
What you got, cuz? Since you seen this
Can,
movie 18 years ago.
can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yeah,
Okay, finally. All right. I enjoyed it. I agree with BA with her having a skill set. That's been one of my personal complaints when it came to Superman was that he doesn't know how to fight without his powers. And actually
Mhm.
seeing Supergirl fight without her powers, or like she could actually throw some type of hands, it's like I'm actually glad to actually see that on the screen. Overall, movie, yeah, it could have been better. It's funny because I asked my wife right after we were done watching it, did she enjoy it? She's like, yeah, it was good, uh, but they could have done it without the child brides or the and stuff. Was like, yeah, that makes sense. I agree. That tracks. And so it was interesting that they did go that way, but it is what it is. Uh, I think for Gunn, him being studio head will help Warner Brothers moving forward as long as if they're able to stop this merger or whatever. Uh, but I think what he will end up having to do because he's for one will have to be more hands on as far as to help guide the people. But I think he's also going to have to put a mandate uh, on these directors as well. The directors, well, not even the directors, but the writers, to at least know the source material. You don't have to be like uh, uh, heavily versed in the source material, but you at
I
least need to
mean,
know some of it. You need to know some of it. Like you have to at least read a couple of
pick one of
comics.
these.
Yeah,
Pick
just
one of
just
these up,
one.
please. For you
Like
make a script.
even if
For the
you
love of
because
God.
like, you don't even need like the thick ones that they have where they stack all the books together. But if you had if they even just got like two sets of the Supergirl books just to see how she is and what the woman of tomorrow is, I think that would have been more than enough for them to have a better idea of what they're dealing with. And I think that would have helped the story immensely with that. Because what's been happening, so we know that we had that duel the past few years of the comic book movies and whatnot. But what's been starting to pull them out more was great writing and them getting closer to the source material. Like they got
Yeah.
back or got closer to the source material. So I think that's what Gunn is going to have to do is to have a meeting with his writers whenever the writers come in or new writers come in. It's like, hey, I need for you to read the source material, and then you don't have to go bar for bar with the source material, but at least keep the soul, the heart, the integrity of the source material in what you're putting into these movies, because that's where you're going to get better. have you all been watching My Adventures of Superman, the new season?
Yeah.
So that Supergirl, I think, would have been better version of it because you see her dark side. Like you can see her struggle, and I don't think that they couldn't hit that as well as they could have. It was good at first. You could see a struggle, but you could actually see what Kara's dealing with in the animated side of it. So that's what the disconnect is. But yeah, it's when I rewatch it, it will be on streaming. It won't be a rewatch in the theaters. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Definitely could have been better. I do wish there would have been closer to the source material more than anything else.
You should say something, BJ.
No, I was just gonna say I do want to make sure I point out I did like the acting.
Yeah.
I think she'd have been, because people always act like I'm being negative, but like I said, I was disappointed in the way that they handled it, and like I said, and I could see back in the days, like back when remember the singer era of X-Men, where they banned the comics and stuff on set. That's one thing, but this is 2026 when this has been around for 30 years almost, and you still not. I'm not gonna reference it. So I'm not gonna look at the books when I'm making a movie about this particular story. That's crazy to me. And so that's why I'm like, how you gonna sit there? And that's why people wonder why the divulge is so far from the stuff. But I think Millie Alcock did a good job. I think the girl that played
Lobo was great.
Rosie. Lobo was Lobo. I think I wasn't as high on him as the other two. I think
He didn't get enough.
Yeah, and they also kind of had him. He was only jokey, but he didn't do enough. Right? He didn't have enough to do really. He showed up a couple times, but he should have done more. I think been more integral into, so they should have did more of a team up.
It's because you said that we all went around the horn, and no one mentioned Lobo, and I think that's criminal on the director, on the writer, on whoever the creation team, because he was supposed to have, like I said, one of those Darth Maul effects, where as though you're going to see this character in this movie and everything.
Hey, not even Darth Maul effect, BA. Shoot, we can have a Mr. Terrific effect.
Yeah, okay, that works too. You know what I'm saying, in a way, and it's just like it didn't land, it didn't work. It left a lot to be desired. You can see where they was going with it and everything, but he definitely needed. I mean, why did he in that last battle? Why did he wait so long to show up? He could have been there from from a little bit more in the beginning. It could have been just them two against that whole clan. You could have brought more people and just let them do what they do in a sense. And we didn't get that, and it was just like I went out thinking more about Supergirl. Then I was like, oh damn, yeah, Lobo too. Like it was, what I mean? Like I forgot about him at times, and I think that was definitely an error on the creation team part.
Now, to piggyback on what you just said, we're not saying that Lobo was bad in the movie, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We're just saying that he left a little bit to desire, right? Like we didn't get enough of Lobo in this movie. Like the little bits he had, I'm like, okay, I like it, but it wasn't enough to be like, oh my god, get that man a movie, right? And I know a lot of people are saying give him a movie because I think I got an echo.
I think it's BS. He got on speaker.
Okay. But yeah, so that's why I said like I'm with you, BA. I don't think we got enough of Lobo in the movie to just say, oh my god, get this man a movie or a show or whatever the case is, right? So this is another thing too. What was the one thing James Gunn said? Because you always bring up before starting the movie, what does he always say? If they don't like the script got to be perfect before they decide to go forward with the movie. So I don't know how he saw this script and was like, yo, this is it, right? So this kind of gives me, I think we talked about it also, everything leading up to Supergirl, James Gunn had something to do with it. Either he wrote it or he directed it or both. So we're starting to kind of get a sense of how things are going to look outside of James Gunn actually writing it or whatever the case is, or directing or whatever. And so I don't know if this makes y'all nervous or just kind of like a little bump in the road. He should be fine or what the case is. But I'm gonna get y'all thoughts. Like, what about you, BJ? Are you kind of like you gonna give it another shot, or this is kind of just like a little hiccup? It's fine. We can move on, and he can maybe do it. Maybe Clayface will be better because he didn't direct that, he didn't write that, so maybe that'll be better. Like, what's your thought process on that?
There we go. Sorry, I'm looking to see what that's going to look like because I expected that to be a different type of movie. I expected it to be a different vibe, a different visual aspect. Like I said, I thought Supergirl was going to tie closer to Superman, and even like I said, the aesthetic of it would be closer. I thought Clayface was going to be grittier, grimier, more Gotham-like because it's set on that side, and that's supposed to be like the two different cities. But like I said, we have to see because he needs to set an overarching tone for his world, this university he's trying to build, and he needs to be more hands-on. It appears
be more hands-on, yeah.
Because I think he let too much go, and like I said, the fact that once again, if he approved the story and they said they cut out 25 minutes of, the human trafficking stuff, and I'm like, how did you? You the one that made the decision, but why would you let they even get that much of that into the script?
That's crazy.
I'm like, because this movie was already 2 hours, so
yeah,
you gonna sit there and cut out 25 minutes of that? Yeah, the movie was an hour and 47 minutes, so it would have been over 2 hours and about 2 hours 10 minutes with that in.
Jeez.
But you were gonna leave that in, and that was in the original script. So, like I said, if you're gonna use that, you could have went to some of the other planets that they were supposed to go to show the other adventures and to show the other stuff. And even if you want to keep it PG-13 and you didn't want to show the violence that they committed, she could have showed up and seen the aftermath and been like, oh man, I can't believe that they did this, and because there was some stuff in the original, like I forgot what the guy who had his whole family was murdered, and so he ended up taking it out on her because he couldn't cry.
Oh, yeah. He couldn't cry, whatever, because I think in their culture they can't cry, something like that.
They can't.
So she let him take it out on her. Luckily, she was in a yellow sun, so she was cool. But yeah. Next time, big purple dude, the big purple dude or whatever. Yeah.
It would have added more emotional weight to it, but like the stuff like that you can do.
And that's what I'm saying, BJ. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if you, bro, that's why I'm kind of mad at like that. I'm not mad at James Gunn because you the leader of all this. It's like, bro, James Gunn has talked about the source material. Y'all know James Gunn is the biggest comic geek of all time when it comes to directing and all that stuff. The dude's constantly just reading new comics and stuff like that. He's always posting on this site and those social media sites and all that stuff. It's like, bro, the source material as it is. Like I could have said, we're not saying you got to copy it 100% because you're gonna change some things in the source material. That's fine. But for the most part, bro, if you that comic story, bro, is one of the most interesting. Is what considered one of the greatest comic story runs of all time. Not for a woman or for a man of all comic books, right? With the Woman of Tomorrow, which is why they decided they want to adapt that. Because hey, you could have went a traditional Supergirl type of way or whatever, right? Where she's just a copycat of Superman. But you decided to take that source material. Why did you consider to take that one? Because you know how good it is. So if you know how good it is, why didn't any of y'all pick the damn comic up and read it and get an idea of what this story is about? Why do people love the story of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow? You don't even know. And so that's another thing I was gonna say too. That the writer that supposedly that's her first time writing. So it's like you're trying to establish this universe. You're trying to establish the studio. And you're trying to build from scratch up, from the ground up because of what happened previously before you got it. And you didn't have sense enough to say, man, let me just overlook this script one more time. Let's get some people, a couple more veteran-led people to kind of overlook it or whatever, kind of punch up the script and all that stuff. It's like, no, she made this script. I like it. Bam, go out there. You directed, she wrote it, you produce it. I'm good. I'm over here worrying about the movie that I'm trying to do. And it's like, come on, James Gunn. You've been around Kevin Feige long enough to know that's not how that works. Why do you think the Marvel Studios have been so successful for so long? Because the dude makes sure nothing is done without his approval. He looks at it, makes sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. He don't play that because guess what? If it don't work out, guess who it falls on? It falls on him. Nobody blaming Peter Safran right now. They're blaming you. So if anything, you should be making sure this thing is ironclad. And I feel like he didn't do that, man. But I guess he feel like he wants to give these creators just free reign and free, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's not, you can give them that to a certain extent. It's what Kevin Feige does.
It sound like a director.
In this area.
like a director.
Kevin Feige be like, yeah, you can make this movie that you want, but listen, make sure you got this, that, this in there. Don't have this, don't have that, don't have this. Not go make a movie. And then bam, successful. That's what he has to do, man. He has to be hands-on. But I think one of the main reasons why he wasn't hands-on because he's been in production for Superman. I mean, for Man of Tomorrow for a while. Because remember, he went from Superman and they went right into production for Man of Tomorrow. He really didn't get no time. This is kind of, chill and let's put some stuff together, which is why I think I told y'all a couple shows ago. Peter Safran came out and said they haven't even sat down yet and just really mapped out anything else after Man of Tomorrow. So they haven't got that part down yet. And that's your job as a studio head. You have to know that type of stuff. You have to have that stuff. You need to be sitting down and thinking about that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what you signed up for. You're best friends with Kevin Feige. You know how he operates. So this should not be new to you. Then you will be getting a situation like this you got with Supergirl, where a lot of people are confused and a lot of people are divided on it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them have the same arguments, with the pacing and the script and all that type of stuff. That's where you're supposed to step in, James Gunn. Your movie was a successful movie. Why are you not stepping in and helping this one also be successful? Because it's going to fall back on you. They're not blaming Gillespie right now. He directed it. They're blaming you. But you just say something, BJ?
No, I was just agreeing with you.
For me, I think it's just a bump in the road. I'm not worried about the future as far as outside of Gun. I think with this, it will be a combination of wake up call and okay, I see where mistakes were made. It's not terrible, like BA said. It's not the worst movie that DC has put out, but it's also not the greatest thing either. So it's basically like right there. It's good. It's good. It's a rewatchable movie over time. So that's where they, like I said, they just ended up finding. I think it'd be in the class of Mortal Kombat, to be honest. You had great stuff within it. You had some bad stuff in it. In the next movie, let's clean the bad stuff out and focus on the good stuff, and let's go from there. And that's what Mortal Kombat did. I think for the next Supergirl movie, that's what they'll end up doing. And actually, just outside of that, it will be okay. So we see where the stuff that we focused on a little bit too much. Let's not do that. We had great guts here, good spots here, and here. We're going to focus more heavy on these areas, and that's what we're going to do moving forward. And so I think it'll just get better. This is the first project outside of Gun directing and stuff. It'll get better, I believe, from this point forward.
I agree with that, Will, 100%. This is his first project where he's not as hands-on, and he needs to learn from it. Feige had plenty of years where he can back and forth and understand the game from that perspective. So as a studio head, give him his leeway. So you don't get too many mistakes. That's first and foremost. But I'm willing to let this go because it still wasn't a bad movie. Just could have been better.
I agree. What you say, BJ? What you got?
So we kept hearing at the beginning of all of this with the new DCU that he was going to learn from all the mistakes that Marvel made and Feige made and not repeat those mistakes. But it doesn't seem like he's done that yet. And I ain't saying he's kind of come out being perfect, but like I said, if you base it on the fact that Kevin is kind of like him and Kevin are friends, Kevin does give advice. And like you would think that he would be like, oh man, yeah, and he come out saying, I'm learning from the stuff he did wrong, so I'm gonna make sure I don't do those things. But then you still not, like I said, I don't know. Because I'm not trying to beat up him because, like I told you, I think if he would have been more involved, it would have been better. But I think he went too hands off for this to be the second movie to come out. I think you still need the guide to make the vision happen, and then you can start to relax once people okay. This is what Kevin wants the DCU to be.
I agree. Like I said, you still one movie does not absolve you from all the other movies before that. Because people, I would tell y'all, like my wife and them don't know the difference between the DCEU and the DCU, right? Like you gotta string these wins together, and knowing that what you're up against, you would think that he would be more hands on. Let me make sure all this is right. not just my movie is right, but it makes sure that everything following is right. That's from Peacemaker to the lanterns and all that stuff. Cause remember, he don't have nothing to do with the lanterns either. So we got to make sure that that's good. I'm on set right now, making sure everything's good. I'm going over the script with you. You know what I'm saying? The script, the show writers, all that. I'm sitting down with y'all, making sure everything is ironclad, right? And so if I said with Supergirl, I agree with y'all. For the most part, you know what I'm saying, it was a pretty solid movie. I didn't think it was bad. Am I like rushing back to the movie theater to watch it? No, I can wait till hits the what's it called, HBO Max or whatever, right? But like BA been saying, it could have been better. And you can see elements in there. It's like, yo, if he just did this one thing or did that one thing, just change this up a little bit, it could have been a whole lot better. And so I just hate the fact that, like I said, Gillespie is a great director. I just feel like he was trying his best to copy off of James Gunn to a certain extent or whatever, man. And he pretty much was following whatever the script was given to him. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting moving forward. But let's go ahead and get y'all's Kaioken rating of this movie. What's your Kaioken rating, BJ?
Probably 6.75.
Okay. What you got, BA? What's your Kaioken rating?
7.
That's about, yeah. What you got, Cuz? What's your Kaioken rating?
7.1.
I knew he was gonna go a little higher.
No, but it was. I originally was gonna just do 7 as well, but just because BA with 7, I just went above it. But yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, my wife asked me my wife and my cousin asked me after the movie. They were like, what was my rating or whatever. And I said about between like a 6.5 and a 7. So I'm gonna probably go like I'm probably Big J. I probably do about 6.75 for the movie. Like I said, man, it was some great part. The action was great. I like the action. I just, like I said, it was a lot that they could have did. I'm gonna give props to the girl, like BA said, the girl who played Ruthie. She did pretty well. Millie Alcock did pretty good. The little part that we did see a Lobo, he did do pretty good. Like I said, I had no issues with the acting in the movie. You know what I'm saying? The acting, it was more of the direction of the movie. That's more I had the issue with. But everybody else did pretty well. I would not mind seeing. You like that Seth Rogen part, huh? But yeah, I'm definitely will. I would like to see Millie Alcock in more stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? More because she's gonna be in that little scene at the end of the movie. Kind of was setting up for Man of Tomorrow, so she's gonna be in Man of Tomorrow because she's gonna be back on Earth now. So that's getting you ready for Man of Tomorrow. That was kind of like their version of a end credit scene or whatever. So yeah, man, I can't wait. Now I was gonna ask y'all too. You think Lobo gonna get a movie or they're gonna do an HBO show?
It'd probably be a show, but I think he'll have to do. I think he'll have to get something else before getting the show.
Well, he's not gonna be in Man tomorrow, right?
I don't think so.
No, okay, I thought I might have heard something. Okay,
but so here's a question though: if you did give him a show, and one, I don't know, is Momoa a show kind of guy? Is he more of a? I think he's more of a movie.
He got shows on Apple TV. He has like 2 shows on Apple TV.
Yeah.
So he's a show guy. He can do shows as well.
Okay. The only thing I was wondering is, with him being a bounty hunter, going from place to place in the universe, is it gonna feel like the Mandalorian? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think about that.
I'm like, to me, it would be like a Mandalorian type show.
It will be just like that, and I think it'd be like an adult version, though. Like, the cursing, the flipping on the birds and
kids, and little animals.
They ain't gonna have no brew in this situation. So yeah, and it's nothing wrong with that. He has the perfect comic background to have an episodic type of a season. And it's just him. You can have 2 episodes going through his missions or whatever like that. It's very mission based, and that'd be just fine. I think HBO will take full advantage of it. If HBO can't do it, I'm not too familiar with Apple and some of their more action based type stuff. But I know that HBO would destroy something like that. So, but a movie, it will have to be after the season. It will have to be maybe one season and then straight to the movies, and then we'll see what happens after that point. But not if you just came out and say, "Hey, we got Lobo." I don't think you're gonna get the love like you would.
They be like, okay, good for you. Like, we don't know what it is.
Yeah, he didn't get enough to get a movie right now.
Yeah, he definitely did not have that Mr. Terrific, impact that we thought he was gonna have. Like the critics were saying he was gonna have. All right, y'all, we can turn the page here, y'all. Let's get to these quick hits in the news, y'all. Yes, check it out, fellas. Avengers Endgame re-release is officially titled Endgame Encore. I want to know if y'all gonna watch this movie. Check this out. It will include a custom intro and a special end tag exclusive to Infinity Vision and IMAX. It includes new footage that connects directly to Avengers Doomsday. So this does not count. So this won't count as part of Avengers. Movie. Yeah, it's considered a new movie. So it's not going to be able to pass up Avatar with this movie. It's considered a new movie. No. They already said it's not. It's technically considered a new movie with the title and everything. It's called Endgame Encore. It's not called Avengers Endgame.
Because they adding scenes to it. If I'm not
mistaken. Add scenes and all that stuff too. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's that BJ. How's that Infinity Vision thing work again? What is it again?
It's gonna be just like IMAX. It's a large screen theater format. And I remember I saw something. I heard something earlier. They said that that there was applications for 7,000 screens already to get it set up before September. That these.
So it don't look no different from an IMAX.
No, it's gonna be its own thing. So they said basically Infinity Vision says the screen size is a minimum of 50 feet wide. Laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, premium fully immersive sound like Dolby 7.1 surround sound style, and basically it's their own thing. So it's going to basically be Disney's version of IMAX, but with their own separate requirements.
But where will this be played at?
So they said that so a bunch of places like AMC, Prime, Regal, but like I said, they said over 7,000 theater houses have already applied. So it'll probably be in every all Cinemarks will probably have at least one Infinity screen. Anybody that's going to show Disney products are going to probably have to do it. They're going to probably set up.
So you just have to talk me through it. Okay, so we have IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
It's its own screen. You go see IMAX is its own area. Yeah. So will this be just taking over the Dolby screen? Essentially, or that's what I'm confused about. It obviously won't have its own area because it can't build it that fast. But how will it be used as far as is it taking over Adobe then? Will it be what is considered the Dolby screen?
Great question.
Well, no. So I think what it is I think it will be a separate. So I think they'll probably have to build a new room or at least modify rooms because, like I said, it has to meet the minimum qualifications. So it may be one of the situations they may have to knock a wall down between and make another large format room inside the theater because
they better get started then.
That's the thing they said. That's what they said when they announced it. They said a bunch of people were like, "Oh, okay," and they were hopping on it because they want to be able to do it. Because, like I tell you, I guarantee all Disney products are going to come out with a Infinity Vision version of it. Because never again do they want to have to be held captive by another movie studio taking over IMAX screens because they don't want to lose that money. They want to make sure they get all the premium format money.
Okay, so, that was my only question was how will it be shown? Okay, so they do have to essentially modify.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good question though, because I didn't think about that either. I'm like, I was thinking that too. Like they're gonna have to take over a room.
Yeah,
if they do that, you know what I'm saying? Because you only got one. Well, some movie theaters have 2 IMAX rooms, but for the most part they have 1.
Yeah, so that's why I was confused. Was like
most have fake IMAX. They don't have the. Like the IMAX 70mm, they have the other IMAX digital.
Yeah.
But think of it like THX was back in the days. It's the same concept. You have it's going to be a certification that you have to get approved, and basically they'll send you all the requirements that you have to meet. Probably send somebody out to check the room out to make sure it meets qualifications, then bless it, and it'll be an Infinity Vision certified theater inside that building.
Room or whatever.
Okay. 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 That was my only thing. Okay.
Are y'all gonna watch it in Infinity, or y'all gonna watch it in another format?
I'll watch it.
If you have to watch it in Infinity, between Infinity and IMAX, if that's the only way to get the additional scenes. So yeah,
Because I know this is normally our family movie, but I'm gonna need you to be on that part, bro.
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Get this
your cousin already told me to prep for Doomsday as well.
yeah. She gonna definitely be on us. We don't get them tickets early, so
Yeah.
I might. I guess we'll have to do the Affinity, see what they're talking about, bro. I'm normally Adobe guy. I know a lot of people at IMAX and all that stuff. I'm normally my wife Adobe. We try to watch everything Adobe, and so but other than that, y'all gonna watch?
Sorry, I don't care about none of that. It's funny, like none of that ever bothered me. Like just as long as it's not like regular screen, like I can see that difference. But everything else on top of it, I'm like, cool. It's all like the same effect. I'm literally interested in the fact that you guys just broke that down like that. That was very entertaining. I might actually pay more attention now that I go to the movie theater, like, but I just never even like thought process. Like, okay, good graphics.
So
that's all.
Well, no. So you know what all that came from was when Star Wars released. The movie theaters were so bad back in the days that's why they came with the THX certification, because like you didn't get the full sound and the explosions and all that, and when the ships would go from one side to the other, you didn't hear it was just mono. So that's why they started creating where you could have the sounds moving around your head and all that. That's why they created the THX, the Thomas Holman experiment, or whatever you want to, or it could be for the THX 1138, the first movie that George that he ever. Oh, dude, that was it. You knew when you sat down, you heard that.
Yeah, heard that.
You're like, oh, okay. You know, it's about to
be they serious about this movie. Okay.
Yeah. I go find that on YouTube and play it sometimes in my house when I want to hear that, it comes up. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. But so that was the first one. And then after that, they started doing stuff like the XD and all this other stuff, these other certifications, the other companies. And Dolby, of course, got into it early on. Yeah, the 40X and the D-Box stuff and all that with the shaking chairs and all that.
Yeah, we did that.
The 40X had like television and all that too on some of them.
The Screen X too.
One with cut with the one with the screens like all the way around you.
Yeah. I saw Godzilla. No. It's the on the walls. So Cosm is like the big bubble. This one, it's like Screen X. It has me and my daughter saw Godzilla Kong in it. So it was like the three Screen X. I think so. That's the three sides. And I know Spider-Man's supposed to be in it as well.
Yeah, I told my wife we might have to try that out, man. I know you said it's the one and we thought we was going to the one. It's that same movie theater in Murphy, I think.
Okay.
But we saw the what you call that, BJ? What you say? What the 40X?
40X.
Yeah, we saw that. We went to go see Twisters, the new Twisters that came out. We saw that in 40X, man, and that was interesting. But I want to see the one you talking about with the screens on the side, all that. It's in the front and the side. Yeah, I want to see that, bro. I want to see that.
Yeah,
did y'all buy the special tickets for Spider-Man? Did you get the super ticket?
I got the regular Dolby ticket. Why? What happened?
No, I was just saying.
You talking with the bucket and all that? Yeah. You talking about? Oh no! I didn't get it.
It's like $40 for the ticket. It comes with the bucket. It comes with the hat. It comes with
They don't have it at you going to Cinemark. I'm not. I go to AMC.
I'm going to
AMC.
It's got a 130 ounce bucket. Yeah, 130 ounce bucket. It comes with the drink. It comes with the Spider-Man hat. It comes with a Spider-Man cell phone holder and some other stuff. Yeah.
Why didn't you get that AMC?
And it's a metal bucket too. It's a 130 ounce metal bucket. They said.
They didn't have it.
I told my wife.
They didn't have it available on Wednesdays. Victor.
They haven't had it available at all at AMC. I told my wife, bro, if they build a Cinemark out here, don't Cinemark have a movie playing too, Big J?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I told my wife. I said, let them build a Cinemark near the house. Let them build a Cinemark near the house, bro. It's a wrap.
Yeah, let's see.
You gonna turn your back on AMC? Yes, I am.
Yeah, so it comes with 130 ounce 10 popcorn 10, 130 ounce Spider-Man popcorn 10. It's even got a poster. Yeah, it comes with a poster too.
See,
and and it's $40.
I might get a poster. They might give us a poster, I guess, for the movie. We'll see, but yeah, you talking about that? Like, nah, bro, we ain't get none of that. I don't think I didn't see that on the AMC website.
Well, like for $40, I'm like, once you buy the drink and the ticket, and the popcorn, you over 40. So I'm like, might as well just do that.
Exactly, you're winning.
Yeah, I didn't even see that, bro.
Be wearing my Spider-Man hat.
Gonna be in there with this full. He gonna get a full suit when you walk in the door.
Oh yeah, the web shooters.
Let's see what we got up here next, y'all. So check this out, man. I'm waiting on this movie. First look at Batman Nightfall Part 1. So we finally got the Nightfall Part 1. Let's see what we got tied to that, fellas. So check this out. It releases later this year. So that could be anywhere around November, maybe even probably October, November, December, around that area. It's the first movie in a multi-part series. So I think who was it? BJ, was it you or Cuz told me it's 3 movies. It's gonna be 3 movies.
I saw on the last trailer that popped up, it said 3. It said part 1 of 3 on the trailer. Because I didn't see it before, but then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I thought I heard that before, but when y'all sent that to the group, I said, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think I did hear that. It says it will be fully CGI animated show. I'm gonna get y'all thoughts on that. And also it says Nick, how you pronounce his last name? Dragotta is a producer. Also, I heard Snyder is supposed to be a part of this too. The one who wrote the original story for Absolute Batman. But that's gonna be interesting, man. I might have one more here. Yep, Scott Snyder will serve as the showrunner, so that's gonna be interesting, man. But let me get y'all thoughts on this, man. BA, what you think about this, man? Do you like the fact, man, that it is CGI? Are we cool with that? Or y'all want it to be kind of hand drawn?
I think the standard right now is whatever they did for Maul. I think that's the standard. I think I've never seen anything that visually.
Oh, my bad, y'all. I could buy 2 stories. So they're doing an Absolute Batman
and Nightfall,
animated and Nightfall. I'm sorry, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah.
Go ahead, BA.
Right, and so what I saw was the Nightfall joint, and it's cool. It's not bad. It's just not Maul, and like that's what I want out of animation now. So unfortunately, if it's not that, then I think everything else is just gonna be like a low grade to it. That don't make it bad. It's just not what I want anymore because I seen what I want. I seen when they had the mixture of animation and watercolors and paint scenes
CGI
and all that. Yeah. That was a beautiful mix. So if it's not that, then it's not up to my standards, I guess, at that point. So that's my THX IMAX type shit. That's me. That's what I want. So when it comes to this though, it's like I seen the trailer and I seen everything. The only thing I have an issue with is one thing and one thing alone is Bane. I know they got it from the comics. I hate the way his head placement is compared to his body. Like it visually bothers me, and it's right there. I cannot stand it. It looks I don't know. I can't describe it. It's just it's offsetting. It's off-putting. It's like no person ever looks like that ever in the history of everything. And it's even if you roid it out, like I don't mind the buffness of it, but when you buff to a point where your traps and all that makes your head go down. Yeah, man, it's like what are we doing? Like you're not doing enough neck muscle exercises. You feel me? You gotta do the old Tyson workouts with the weights and all that stuff to stand you up. You need to see a chiropractor or something. Something's off. So that's my only bad thing versus to go along with the Maul thing. Like that's gonna be me personally, but everything else is just like, hey, this is great. It was great. I love the trailer. I love watching it. I like the team that they put it around it. These are good things. It's just I'm not going to be interested in Bane, and unfortunately, he's one of the main characters.
What you got, Cuz?
I'm looking forward to it. I agree with BA. I hope that they do get close to or I wish that they would have gotten close to the Maul animation because that set a standard. It was kind of like when it came to movie animation with Into the Spider-Verse, how that changed how movie animation was for it. So it's kind of like the same thing for now TV show animation is, yeah. we just saw greatness. I need for y'all to get to something like that because I know y'all got some sort of spy that knew that Maul was looking that way, and to where y'all could have been like, "Yo, we might have to push this back to get it to that level," type of situation. But that's the only thing I agree with the BA on the animation part. But I am looking forward to it overall. It's a 3-part. I wonder if they will track what you said as far as like the Bane show will break them. Didn't have the fake Batman running around, messing stuff up, and then the Bruce comes back in the trilogy. So
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
yeah, but yeah, just overall, it's the fact that they actually had a storyline is great. And I told you, what has me nervous is the same thing as I mentioned before. Is with the Killing Joke, it was just expected more. So I'm just hoping that they nail it that part as far as giving everything that's supposed to be part of it. What you got, Big J?
No, so I said if you look at that Bane, he looks like Mr. Hyde from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He had that same neck issue with the trap.
Same neck. Yep, you so do.
But
Well, yeah, he did look like that too. For the red one too, the bad guy who turned into one.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he looked,
he was even more so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so animation style, yeah. I mean, I looked at the video, the trailer again. It looks okay. But to me, if you're gonna do it, Celia, and I don't think everything gonna look like Maul Shadow Lord. That's probably the pinnacle of animation. But like, my second favorite that I've seen lately was the Marvel Zombies. The look that they did, because I think they did a real good job too. And I wouldn't be mad if it looked like that.
Is that CGI?
So they said it's a 3D, 2D cell animation. I think it is an aspect of CG in that. Because it looked like it could be, especially with some of the effects when they were doing like the special effects and stuff. I think it is CG, but I just think they did a real good job making it look. Because they said they want to make it look like a comic book, but then still have like the ability to make it 3-dimensional looking. So I think they did a good job on that though. So if it looked like that, I wouldn't be upset. Like I said, I went back and looked at the trailer. And I'm like, it looks okay. It doesn't look like it stands out, visually at least.
Yeah, because that's one of them. It's going straight to Max, pretty much. So when it comes out, you can buy the DVD and all that stuff. You can stream it and all that stuff. But yeah, it's not nothing like you're gonna be, look forward to in the movie theaters and nothing like that. So I wasn't real surprised by the animation. As far as that, what y'all saying, like I wasn't expecting it to be that level of animation. I just didn't want it to be a bad animation, like like some Invincible season 3 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be that bad. Like that's what I kind of wanted to see, because the tone of this story is kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted to see how they would have matched the animation with that tone. And so, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely see it, man. Like I said, part 1 comes out. I think they said later on this year. It's gonna do 3 parts. So we're gonna see. I just didn't want it to look like Aztec Batman BA animation. I didn't like that animation. It looked kind of PBS-ish a little bit. I didn't want to see that, bro. So as long as they didn't do it that way, I'm you know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to look like that. If it didn't look like that, I'm good, bro. I'm good. But real quick, I know I think I read some of them off already. But Absolute Batman, though, what y'all think about that? It's gonna be CGI. That was gonna be CGI. It's gonna be a series too, so that's gonna be interesting. What y'all thoughts on that? Well, what you think, cuz?
I think it's gonna be fun. When I saw it online, like folks was tripping out. I was like, man, they didn't even allow for Supergirl to fully flesh out, and then they drop in Batman news, animation news, it's like immediately after. But yeah, for this Absolute Batman, I'm curious of how it's going to do the run, like how long the season and stuff is going to be. But it's crazy how they're dropping all this Batman news like back to back like this, but it's exciting. I'm here for it. Batman's my guy.
What you got, BJ?
That's just me, BJ.
Well, might be forcing me to go get the Absolute Batman hot toy they just dropped.
Surprised you ain't got it yet.
Because one,
he's the most popular character right now.
Look, sir, that thing is huge. It's like 17 inches or 16 inches big. I got to find a shelf to put that on. We ain't calm down. We ain't all from the East Coast. Everything. You said pause. You said, hold on. I'm gonna do a call back. Hold on. When you said,
I didn't say a word. I didn't say a
I saw
word.
your face. Hold on. I saw your when you
bro. I didn't say a word, bro. I don't try to tell you.
Oh my God.
I didn't say a word. Just go ahead.
So look, you and King with the over pause, because I remember when you said Ruthie was dangling, you were like pause. I'm like, what you talking about? A little girl hanging from? Like, what are you talking about? Pause. You talking about a girl hanging from a rope? You were like, when Ruthie was dangling, pause. I'm like, what are you talking about? Y'all pause everything.
I did not interrupt you in your soliloquy. Please continue with whatever it is that you.
Oh my God.
Actually, that is both here and there.
Oh man.
So no. So I'm just like I gotta find a spot on the shelf because that's too big for standard shelves. That's the only problem.
Hold on. Is this gonna be on Prime or is it gonna be on HBO?
Absolute Batman.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. Forget what I said. I think Prime is just like an outlier because it was going to be on HBO. Yeah, Cape Crusader. That was going to be on HBO. Remember, they end up not selling the rights. What you call it? The distribution, I guess you could say. They ended up selling it over to Prime. It was going to originally be on HBO Max, but decided to give it over to Prime for some reason. I don't know why. And then the show was actually good. So, but yeah. Now, but go ahead, BJ. What you say?
No, I mean, like I said, I'll watch it. Like I said, I was on the border about buying that ticket, so I'm gonna have to go and scoop it up.
So the figure is that bat symbol? Is it like the material like it is, like it would be in the comic?
Yeah, and so they do have the it has that rough material, and he does have an axe that's supposed to come from that, but that's also kind of dumb. But
so,
he has axe.
So you could take that off his chest, like in the comic.
You can take it off, and then it's like yellow underneath, and then you have an axe that looks similar to the thing.
Okay, man. You know what's crazy, bro? This character is so popular right now, bro. It's so popular that I'm to be honest with you, I'm not really surprised they came out with anything animated for anybody from the Absolute Universe, bro. Because the Absolute Universe is becoming more popular than the actual main DCU right now. To the point, folks like, man, just make the Absolute Universe movies, universe or whatever, right? So if this movie now. For folks who don't know about this Batman, this is not the rich playboy Bruce Wayne Batman. This is like in the gutter, gritty. Ain't afraid, bro. And getting out the mud, ain't afraid to kill. He is hyper violent, right? Like he is big hulking type dude. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna be interesting. I hope that because I know Scott Snyder is the showrunner. He's the one who actually wrote the original story of Absolute Batman, but this gonna probably open the door up too, man. We're gonna see Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Superman at some point, or they're gonna probably establish a whole entire Absolute universe if this goes well. It's gonna depend on how this is received.
We're not gonna get Absolute Joker because that's not cool.
We're getting Absolute Joker, bro.
We ain't getting that. I don't want to see that. I don't see no Absolute Joker. No, sir.
I'm just saying, I don't want to see. They're gonna have him in there, bro. But I don't like. That's the only thing about I like the premise of Absolute Batman. Like I read the first 3 issues. I don't like the fact. I don't like how they made every last one of his rogue gallery like monsters. Like especially the Joker, bro. I don't like that rendition of the Joker, bro. Like they could have did something a little bit different. It's to the point, man. Folks were joking online, like, damn, if this is his rogue gallery in Absolute, just imagine what Calendar Man looked like. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know, but I like the Absolute Batman himself. To a certain extent, I think that like I said, the Rose Gallery, I can take it or leave it or whatever. But I don't know if you read the one with Bane. He was fighting Bane, and Bane was before he even used the venom, was like hitting him and beating him up or whatever. And Batman was standing there like, but that's all you got? He said, you ain't gonna this all your power does or whatever. He said, oh, I ain't even powered up yet. But if you want me to, I mean. So to turn that sucker on, bro, he turned into a big old tower. I was like, yeah, that's too much, bro. That's too much. But you gonna see all that, BJ. Let this be successful and see what happens.
We have the animated movie that's about to come out. Mm-hmm. You got this this absolute Batman that's about to be a series, which
Mhm.
it doesn't have a home yet. So I don't. Maybe they shop it in between a couple of places. It does not have a home
Probably.
yet from what I looked up. You know what I'm saying? We got all this love for animated Batman, but no live action Batman.
I knew you were gonna bring that up. I was waiting on one of you. I thought it was gonna be BJ, but okay.
So are we waiting for fans' reactions to certain storylines and things of that nature, and say like, hey, maybe we go a different route when it comes? I'm not saying put Absolute in like as the main Batman.
Yeah, main Batman. Yeah,
but maybe a harder edge, type of a vibe or something along those lines. I don't know, but something has to make sense on why they're pushing this versus not pushing the real side of it. So it's interesting. I can say that it's definitely interesting to see the animated get so much love, and we have at this point no Batman other than the Batman 2. You know what I'm saying? Like other than that, which is a dying franchise. Like we're not continuing that too much. You know what I'm saying? Like that scope is none. It's not happening. It's the James Gunn version that has no place for a Batman yet, and we are now into Supergirl. So like we're in this world. We're in this universe. We got Man of Tomorrow. Like we are here, and we got animated products. Another Batman, but no DCU Batman to speak of. That's wild.
Yeah, you better have 3. You about to have the movie, Absolute, and then remember we still got Cape Crusader. So, you say, BJ?
So I remember back a few months ago when James Gunn said that he didn't think it was a problem to have multiple live versions of Batman, right? And yet he still ain't released plans for a live version of Batman. So it seems like he's like, well, I don't want to, you could say I trust the fans, they're gonna get it, but he's not seeming to trust the fans because he has not pushed that story forward.
He came out with it, yeah. Now I told y'all I'm hoping that during Comic-Con they hit us with some kind of circular announcement that they coming out with Wonder Woman and Batman movies. So I don't know, we'll see. And then last but not least, fellas, check this out. Speaking of Batman, I'm talking about Joker, Big J. Laugh Riot animated series is in the works at DC. So this is what they said it is. It says after Batman is killed, Joker goes on a violent hunt to find who did it. Well, let's get y'all's thoughts on that. What you think about this one, cuz?
I'm always this is going to be unique for the most part, I should say, because it's not something to really ask for when it comes to the Joker. It's just I get it that storyline is out there, and it feels like right now that they're trying to build up a ton of Batman interest with a lot of what they're doing on the animated side. Kind of like what BA was saying. You have all these animation movies and shows but no live action. And I feel like this is connected to that as well. So this would, to me, yes, it won't be Batman in it, but it's Batman adjacent. So it's essentially a 5th or a 4th Batman situation. It is what it is. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna judge it, good or bad. It's not what I asked. It's not something that I'm asking for. What you got, picture? That's all I got. It is what it is. It's gonna be a thing. I'm not gonna judge it, good or bad at this point, but it will be a thing. Yeah, that's what it says. Like, it's not something that we asked for. It's like give us the live action, essentially, and y'all giving us everything that's adjacent. It's either Batman animated or it's adjacent or parallel to it.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
But what you got, BJ?
It's like the Epstein files.
we
asked to be released as like, hey, look at these aliens. Look at the JFK assassination. No, let me start this. Everything but what you asked for. Hey, we want a Batman in the DCU. No. We're gonna give you stories you ain't even think you wanted, but you're gonna get them. You know,
gonna
so
get
You
these stories.
said Absolute Batman, right? No, I never said Absolute Batman.
Is it gonna be
No.
Absolute Batman? No, but hey, we're gonna do a 12-part animated series, 3 movies for this other Batman, Nightfall. We're gonna give you all kind of content except what you want.
Oh my god.
Because we trust y'all to have 2 live version Batman.
What you got, BA?
Same thing as everybody. Like I literally, if you would have just played this, had this with the other slide, then I would have just added this to the Batman things I was saying. It's just another thing added to it. And y'all mentioned before, like you got the Clayface joint, which is going to show Gotham City.
Oh, yeah.
We got the animation joints all around. Another version of Batman that's not being continued, and we do not have the DCU version of Batman. We got the city, but not him. So, I'm all right. And the dynamic duo, if I want to toss them in there sometime.
Are we expecting the dynamic? We expecting a Batman before the dynamic duo movie?
Not at this point.
Yeah, probably.
Not at this pace. It would be nice, but not at this pace.
I'm telling y'all, I'm hoping. Now, I'm not putting BJ Hot Toys on or nothing, but I'm hoping that we hear something at Comic-Con. Like they tight lip. Because listen, ain't no way in the world you can continue this universe without having 2 of your main guns, bro. Wonder Woman or Batman. It's no way. There's no way, bro. I'm sorry. But you say cuz?
At the beginning of the year, I would have put Jay's Hot Toys on it. At this point, I wouldn't. At the beginning of the year, it's like, yeah, for sure. By Comic-Con, some come through. We're gonna get some for Batman. At this point, they jumping all this other stuff, and I'm like, I'm not even sure anymore now.
You say you wanted Batman, here you go. Like,
so is Will saying that we're gonna have GTA 6 before we get the DCU Batman?
Yeah, GTA come out this year in November.
That's what I'm saying.
You get the digital. You get the digital. You can't. You buy the box without the DVD or without the disc.
And we said that too. We said that like it was like earlier this year or something like that. We joked. It was like we're gonna get first the Batman, Wonder Woman, or GTA 6 or something like that, bro. We like I think we all said GTA 6, bro. That's what's happening. We get it at the end of the year. So that's crazy, bro. But yeah, man, y'all in the comment section is live today.
It's live,
y'all, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and switch over here, man. Let's go to the question and comment, see what everybody talking about, man. Let's scroll all the way up here. Here we go. Is that Will Gene McQuillan? He says hi. Oh, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, man. If you're new to the channel, join us for these conversations. Give me a second. Am I doing? Here we go. Salam said, "What's up, y'all? What up, Salam? What up?
Oh, I got a comment for Salam real quick. So he had asked me, I think it was last year, which one was my favorite show between The Bear and The Pit. So I would have to say at this point it would be The Pit, even though they're different. But The Pit, I watched that, especially that season 2, and it gets emotional, and you can get a good cry out of it as well. And then the final season of The Bear just started this past week.
Okay. We got edits, man. He says, sorry, but Marvel's universe is now better than DC. Okay. He also says they are nerfing every character in DC.
That's tough.
I'm not gonna argue that.
That's tough.
Superman got beat down, and then of course Supergirl, but I think they just made Krim way too strong. That was weird because Krim was not.
I told my wife and my cousin that I said because in the comments he didn't have no super strength like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He was just like crazy or whatever, but he didn't have no super strength like that. Dude picked the tank up with one arm and just threw it to the side. I'm like, that's like, well, they definitely changed up. Did y'all not? God dang it, pick a comic book up. Anyway, but yeah, that threw me off when I seen that. But because even Lobo get captured that easily, but at the same time, you were just walking through cats on in every scene that you were in. I'm like, so how'd you get captured? I'm confused, but that's why I said I'm not gonna argue with you. So he got some merit to that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Pluto says this definitely hurts the DCU, but better it be Supergirl than Wonder Woman. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Since if Lannis is what we expect it to be, hopefully it can wash out the fumble for 8 weeks straight. So
Yeah.
I agree with you, Pluto, but I think that only applies to us in this space. Like I would tell y'all, like people like my wife is there all the time. She know because of me, but like she looks at the movies as its own like entity compared to not as an overall DCU with the shows and the movies. So you're looking at a win and a loss. You're not looking at Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, Superman. Those are 3 wins. And she's not looking at it like that. We're looking at it like that because we're in this space. But people like her aren't looking at it like that. They only look at the movies as separate from the shows or whatever. Because for the most part, a lot of people don't watch those shows like we watch them. They don't know those shows are tied into the movies and stuff like that. Because for example, Will's cousin, my sister, she said that she didn't even watch none of the show because she didn't know they was tied into none of the movies for Marvel. She only know about the Marvel movies. Like I didn't watch, Ironheart or the Marvels. I didn't know they were tied into a movie or whatever. She don't know nothing about that. So a lot of them look at the movie separate. So if this Superman movie is good and then Supergirl was bad, they don't look at it they look at it as okay, you got to win, but then you follow up with a loss. So now you're gonna wait until what's the next coming out? Clayface. Clayface got to be a win in their opinion, not Lanterns. It's got to be Clayface. But for us, yes, you got to get Lanterns right and you got to get Clayface right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping Clayface is good. I really do. But let's see what we got for next, y'all. Pluto says as long as Gunn step back from directing, we can get back on track. Because Gunn wrote the Superman scenes, and those are easily the best dialogue in the movie outside of Krypton. Yeah, I mean, so do I want Gunn to be more hands-on, at least with the writing? Would y'all feel better if he wrote at least? If he's not gonna be super duper hands-on?
I just want him. That's what I'm saying. Like, I need for him to just mandate that you have to at least read the material that the storyline is going to be close to. That will at least help because he's trying to build up the universe, so he can't be that hands-on on everything. Because remember, that's what ended up having Feige to be too stretched out. But if you set a mandate that, hey, you need to at least read a couple of comic books. This is just if we're going with a particular storyline or title. You have to make sure that you at least read a couple of comic books within that, just so you can have an understanding of it.
We can say, yeah, you should say something.
Yeah, he can't be scared. He can't be scared to say, as a director, the one thing that you don't want to hear probably from a producer, head or overhead, is, if I was doing it, I would do it this way. Well, no, it's my creation. It's my art. Don't tell me how to do my art. That kind of thing. And I think that as a director, you have to let go of that mindset to become a studio head. You have to then go back to the individual director and say, well, you should probably do this here, or I would have done this here, or I would have added this. He cannot be afraid to do that. And I think that's what he will do moving forward. So he can still do a direction thing and all this other stuff. I had no issue with that, but he has to have some fortitude to tell these other people that he admires to say, you're doing this the wrong way. You need to do it this way. And he has to stand on it. And then if it fails, he still has to stand on it. But with your mindset, it should be more of a success than a failure.
I agree with you, cuz on that one, bro. I agree. He says allegedly they cut Krim's. Salam says they allegedly cut Krim's entire backstory from the final cut. Is what we was talking about. Says the PETA stuff line is wanting to make old girl his wife wasn't there, but the implications were there. I just looked at it. Well, yeah, you're right. Because I was gonna say with the Ruthie part when she was in that prison, I was looking at it like he was just a guy who was just looking to just sell whatever he could. You know what I'm saying? Which it kind of didn't make any sense to me because in the beginning of the movie when he killed her,
it was the head touching. It was the it was the soft caressing and like you know what I'm saying. It was that, and if you didn't know, then that could be a one-off type thing. But if you hear the backstory, you're like, that feeling.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense now. He says, I need Woman of Tomorrow, Fury Road starring Ruthie. Yeah, man. Ruthie was about that life, man. That was a nice little sword she had. Pluto also says, unless it's a Justice League movie, I don't want to hear Gunn directing anything for 5 years. Not that I want him for Justice League, but it's the only title that should pull him away from being a CEO from now. That's, you know what? He might have a point. Not so much about the 5-year thing, but that's probably who I want directing Justice League. If they do decide to go to Justice League route, it might have to be Gunn. Because that's going to be their big. That's their Avengers, right there. Like you want that. That has to hit. That has to become a event film or whatever, right? So I don't know. I might have to agree with Pluto on that one, man. I might have to agree with him on that one. Let's see, we got it for next. He also says, if Man Tomorrow with all the characters is fire, then I'll have no problem with him doing Justice League. Yeah, that's a good point too, Pluto. I'm not mad at it either. I know Big J don't want to direct nothing else, but listen, man, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it, man. He also says, I agree with Big J because Gunn would have delivered a better script and lean closer to the source material. But what concerns me is that Gunn raved about the script and made it the second DCU film. I know that's kind of what my gripe was. I know Big J talks about that type of stuff all the time with Gunn, which is why, I like I said at the beginning, Salam, that from what I was hearing, Gunn was like really hands off with this. He got a director that he trusted. Because like I said, Gillespie is a very good director. He's a very good director. The one thing that kind of gave me pause was the fact that they had a writer. This is her first writing credit. And so it's like, if that's the case, I'm not saying like you take the project away from her or whatever, right? But somebody should have kind of went behind her, just kind of like, let's just sit down, let's go over this and just look at it or whatever. Because it sounded like Gunn just read it. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. You finished it. Cool. All right, let's get the movie started. It's like, but did you actually read it and go notes? Take notes and maybe you change this up, maybe you change that up. Get an idea of the tone or whatever, right? Hey, in the original source, it did this and that. It didn't do this in the source, all that type of stuff. Did you sit down with that person and do that? And it don't sound like he did. It sounded like he was extremely hands off. You had your producer, you all that stuff. You had your showrunner, your script writer, and you had your director. You was good to go. So Pluto also says, to be fair to Anna, he says, we don't know if Craig made any changes to the script during the shoot or changed scenes around. BJ, you said he didn't change nothing, right? You said he just pretty much went with the script that she gave him? Because he said he didn't even read the comic.
I'm sure he made some changes, but like I said, once again, he said he didn't look at the comics until either the end of production or very, very late into production. He said that's when he finally looked at it. Which, like I said, that's the thing. He said he based almost everything he did strictly off the script that was handed to him.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, so I think that James Gunn does need to. He should have at least given notes and said, they don't want him to write the whole script, but he could have been like, before they even sat down, he could have given like an outline and said, we're basing it on this story. Go read the story, and then I want to make sure we hit these points from the story at the beginning, so that way they're not writing a draft and you'd be like, nope, don't like it. Go back and do something else. Write it again. All that. If you give that feedback up front, so this is, we need this because we need this to end here because it's going to lead to this movie. So I need you to put these beats into the script so that we can guide the story along and the overarching story to this point.
I agree. But, like I said, the only thing I think the ending would have probably been a little bit different because in the comics, remember she sent Krim to the Phantom Zone, yeah, and he was sentenced to 300 years or something like that. And so she came back with an aging Ruthie at the end to kind of check in on him or whatever. And I know they weren't gonna be able to do that part, you know what I'm saying? But so which is why I think they changed the ending of this movie to what we got in the movie instead of what it was in the comic. What say, BA?
How do we feel about the ending? Like, we didn't touch on that. Like, how we feel about the fact that
you're right.
we went away from the peaceful route and she stabbed him. Like she twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of,
I ain't gonna lie,
that's
BA.
kind of out there.
Me and my wife kind of looked at each other when she did that. I was like, because like I said, in the comic, Ruthie was telling the story. All this stuff was happening in the comic. She was telling the story from her perspective. She was telling the story. So at the end, she said SuperGirl, when Ruthie walked off, SuperGirl ended up stabbing Krim or whatever, right? But in reality, she actually sent Krim to the Phantom Zone. I'm guessing we don't have the Phantom Zone yet in this universe, so they didn't even try to establish that for them to send him to the Phantom Zone. So they went ahead and just did the actual ending that Ruthie saw in the comic. Not understanding that that's what the Ruthie told that story is kind of like, like a feel good for her story. Like, yeah, at the end, I didn't do it, but she killed her for me type thing. When in reality, she really didn't. The real story was she didn't kill her. She sent him over to the Phantom Zone. But in the movie, they decided to say, like, yeah, she really did kill her for Ruthie or whatever. I'm with you. And I guess it's supposed to add to the edginess of Supergirl to separate her from Clark or whatever. And I'm just, be honest with you, BA, I don't know how I feel about that. Because there was no emotional weight to that killing, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, the other part too, though, in the original story, remember in the original story, she just went along with Ruthie and lied about Crypto dying because Crypto wasn't going to die from the poison because the Kryptonian DNA healed him. So the antidote wasn't actually needed in order for him to be able to survive. And by the time they got back, he was fine. He was already okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot of stuff they changed. The fact too that she was on a planet with a yellow sun and they tried to poison her, and she was like, "My stomach is upset" and all that. If you're on a yellow sun, that should affect you either way. That poison wouldn't affect you in either way. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was a lot they kind of deviated from the comic or whatever, bro. But I mean, it is what it is.
I told my wife I would have gave him a flesh wound before Supergirl stabbed him. When Ruthie was there, it's like, would have at least gave him a flesh wound.
I thought you would have. She put the neck, like a sword, like right there on the neck.
Yeah.
Salam said director not being familiar with the comic, possibly referring to it and doing his own thing. It's infuriating. I mean, I get it. He said it shouldn't be happening in 2026. Feige has cut good directors who tried to do the same. Yeah, I said like Cuz been saying, you read the comic, which also too, BJ, I don't know if you heard. That's why a lot of people saying they dropped out the Woman of Tomorrow because it wasn't like Woman of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it wasn't because of the title or whatever, because they didn't want people to see the movie and they'd be like, you said it was Woman of Tomorrow. They wouldn't really like the Woman of Tomorrow. It had elements of it, but it wasn't like the essence of Woman of Tomorrow or whatever. So, but I mean, it's what it is. Pluto says, I think we can be hands off with the shows because HBO has a certain standard / structure that even their misses will be a hit on Disney Plus. That's true. Since for the movies though, put the cap put on the cap and do your best Feige impersonation. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think we talked about it on the last show, and I was telling you, like, it's like, bro, HBO got it. I'm not worried about HBO. They got some showrunners out the wazoo. They got it. They got a track record. I'm confident with them. Pluto also says it's basically just a stamp of approval. Theaters have already had this, and they've been putting the label on its branding. Basically, it's not new technology. He's talking about the Infinity Vision. Yeah, we have to watch an Infinity Vision, see what he's talking about. He giving it this. Okay, so Salam was giving it a 6 out of 10. Millie was good. Lobo was cool, but unnecessary. That's a good point. Ooh, Krypton scenes, thumbs up. Okay, he said, but the Mad Max ripoff and Fury Road brides, inexcusable and lazy. Yeah, Krim was mid. Yeah, he said you want to change the. He said prove that. Yeah, yeah, I agree with everything he said. He gave it a 6 out of 10. About around what everybody here gave it. So. Pluto says, he said, I feel for you, BA. That's crazy. Steroid Nick only looks good on the Hulk. So even the Hulk is not like that. The Hulk just, the shoulders is up and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, Hulk is not even built like that. BJ had a perfect example. That the Leave Extraordinary Gentleman. That's how Mr. Hyde was built. Exactly how he was built. Pluto says, all the animation news came from the how you pronounce that? NC Animation Festival this past week. That's why. Yeah. I should have mentioned that. I apologize. But yeah. It came from that, yeah. Because Comic-Con is what, in a month?
Yep.
Got one more month, y'all. We'll be at Comic-Con. They already talking about Marvel already getting started with their promotion down there at Comic-Con, so they better have a fire presentation. Pluto says the only mainline comic competing with the Absolute Universe in numbers is Batman. Yeah, this man must be stopped. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said when I was giving my spiel there, I wasn't surprised they were doing an Absolute Batman anything. I'm really not surprised because everybody named Mama is loving that story, that comic book run right now. So I'm not surprised by it. I just want to see their rendition, their take on it or whatever. Batman has to be referenced in Man of Tomorrow somehow. We just need confirmation, James. BA say no. Okay. I mean, no. I'm with BA. I don't think you have to, but you need to have him here soon. You got to have him soon. Because, especially with Supergirl, what they did. I mean, they need to have Batman and Wonder Woman sometime soon here. I'm trying to read through the rest of these real quick. I don't know. It said dynamic duo and DCU Batman in 2028 sounds possible to me. I mean, like I said, we'll see. Comic-Con is in a month. They might surprise us. We've seen DC and Marvel and all those surprises before at the Comic-Con, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm not putting BJ's hot toys on or nothing, but we'll see. He says DC nerfed over Marvel. Your Honor, I present to you the Hulk and Thor. Yes. I mean, I can't argue that. He's got a point there. He's got a point. Salam says the Pit was great, but according to critics, the last season of The Bear is excellent. Yeah, my wife been watching the last season of The Bear.
Fantastic.
Pluto says to my earlier comment though about James stepping back and from directing, since he's directing and writing Man of Tomorrow in Atlanta, Supergirl was out in Europe doing whatever it wanted. That's a good point. And I didn't think that's a good point, Pluto. That's a good point. That's why he was a little bit more hands off. Like I said, it's why he put certain people in those positions. He thought he can trust the people he put in that position to just do their thing or whatever. And he go over here and do what he's doing. So yeah, you're right. Salam says, Ruthie. What was it, BJ?
No, it's in reference to that. You can read the comment as in response to that comment.
Ruthie said should have been allowed to kill Krim. He says Supergirl doing it made no sense. I guess they're trying to show how she and Superman are different. That's what I just said a minute ago. But what were we saying, BJ?
So the thing is with what she was doing is she was protecting Ruthie's soul from her becoming a killer. And also when she thought about letting Krim go, Krim basically said that he was gonna hunt Ruthie down if they let him live. So she was like, all right. She told Ruthie to walk off. And then she was like, cool. So she stabbed him once for Crypto and then once for Ruthie because he wanted to make sure he didn't come back.
Yeah. And then Pluto says, damn, the source material sound way better than what they did. Yeah. Because I just knew the general arc of it beforehand. Yeah, bro. I recommend you go read it. It's very good. Which is like when they originally said they were going to do an adaptation from Woman of Tomorrow, I'm thinking, oh man, that's perfect. Like that's a great story. But then we got what we got. So and then we got last one here. Matthew says, are you guys worried about Wonder Woman and Teen Titans because Anna is going to write it?
No, I think it would get better. Like I said, I think this will give the whole team an opportunity to be better.
So, what you got, BJ? What you think?
No, I just laugh because Will is the eternal optimist. He's like, it's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna do better. They're gonna do better at their job next time. They're never gonna screw up again.
I didn't say they never screw up. It's just getting better. All you had to do is get as long as you're working towards getting better, it happens.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, Matthew. I'm a little nervous. Now, if they decide, like we've been sitting here saying, like what Cuz saying, if they can learn from their mistakes. Now with Wonder Woman, James Gunn is gonna definitely have to be hands-on. You can't mess that up. You got to be hands-on. Now I can say he got to be hands-on, and he decided not to be hands-on, right? So right now, like I said, for me, it's going to depend on what we see from Clayface. If Clayface comes out and we back to okay, DC back on track again, right? Then we can probably say, okay, maybe it was just an outlier with Supergirl. But until then, from what we've seen with Supergirl, I am a little nervous with her being the writer because she doesn't really have any history in writing. That was her first writing credit is SuperGirl, and we saw what we got. So, and I'm praying if you're going to rewrite Wonder Woman, like Cuz was saying, if you're going to write Wonder Woman and Teen Titans, then pick a comic book up. How are you writing this stuff if you don't have any idea of the source material? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm a little nervous. We're going to have to see, though. We're going to have to see how that goes. Maybe they'll get somebody else to write it, see her script and say, nah, this ain't it. We'll get somebody else to write it. I don't know. We'll see. And then last but not least, Pluto says she was moved off of Teen Titans for Wonder Woman. Okay. So she ain't doing that anymore. She says, so she'll probably just get the first draft of Wonder Woman and go from there. I mean, they take her off of Teen Titans and send her to one of the main pillars. Like I said, that doesn't give me confidence. Maybe it is what you said, Pluto. Maybe she's gonna do the first draft and then they're gonna get somebody else to kind of touch up, finish it, and all, you know what I'm saying, the finished script or whatever. I just, for right now, her name attached to Wonder Woman does not give me confidence after what we just saw. So,
you know, at this point, how could she mess up Wonder Woman? Like, you done seen so many renditions and you ain't even got it. She probably was just watching movies and know kind of the logistics of Wonder Woman. It ain't like SuperGirl where you gotta kind of know her backstory a little bit, like why is she here?
Read the comic.
You gotta know Wonder Woman. Like, you know, she was in somewhere, some island with women. You feel me? And she got over here some kind of way, and she can, you know, she doesn't age. Like, that's enough. That's enough to see what she could do. But you know, at some point, I think directors and writers and all these people, you just gotta get your ego out the way. Like, you have to see, once you have a product, you have to see the pros and cons. And the cons, you can't just wave off and saying they don't understand my artistic viewing. Like, you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what most of us are going to start saying the same exact thing. Most of the cons is, yo, did you read the story? Like, you're gonna see a lot of that. And as a person, in a consumer based entertainment type of business, you have to not disregard those cons. We'll see if she does. We'll see if she doesn't.
Good point. Well, you gonna say something, BJ? Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. But yeah, man, listen. Appreciate y'all, man. Geeking out with your boy, man. Great show, y'all. Great show. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the people who just subscribed to the channel as well, man. If you haven't subscribed yet, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button, man. That'd be much appreciated. We gonna be having another show here on Tuesday. So we didn't talk about it today because I kind of feel we're gonna go a little long today with the SuperGirl conversation, but we're gonna talk about the Avatar show. I'm about to go down here and finish it now. We're gonna watch. We're gonna talk about Avatar: Last Airbender from Netflix season 2, and probably any other news that dropped. Actually, some other news dropped, I think, with Avengers. We're gonna be talking about the possible casting in Avengers Secret Wars. So we're gonna talk about that on Tuesday as well, y'all. So if you guys are new to the channel, if you're into Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Harry Potter, RoboCop, Aliens, you know, Predator, whatever it is, y'all, hit that subscribe button. Join us here for Cuz We Geek'd, man. We do this every Tuesday evening and Saturday morning. And also, too, y'all, before we leave, okay, y'all do us a favor, hit them likes as well. That'd be much appreciated. So with all that being said, it's your boy Rail, got Cuz in the building, Big J, BA, Cuz We Geek'd, where we talk about all things in the geek culture involving movies and television. BJ said, make sure y'all look up. And we out.